Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. I got nothing else. That's all I got. I couldn't remember the rest of the song, which is awful. One of my favorite shows of all time, and I can't remember the theme song. I think I should fire myself, but there's nobody to take my place right now. Is that banner up again? Get rid of that thing. There I am. Hi, folks. It's Tuesday. I don't know if you guys forgot, but I'm going to remind you. It is Tuesday, and we're here in my little space here, this studio apartment. Actually, it's not a studio apartment. It's a office space, I guess you could say that, office space. Great movie, right? Yeah. But welcome. I've lost 2 people already. 2 people were watching, and then they went away immediately because they saw I was doing the exact same thing I do every time. Would you like me to dance? I do have this tap board over there. I could pull that out and tap dance for you. But first things first, I must increase my speed as usual. My fine internet speed. I'm going to make sure I have top speed for everyone who comes in and says hello, because I want you to be able to say hello loudly. As it were. Hey, are you watching? Say hello. I think Skip may have just said hello. Skip is in our green room right now, and he's enjoying the fine board. We just have a wooden board today. There's no cheese, no meat, no fruit. We just handed him a board and say, make your own charcuterie. So I think that's what he's done. Let's see how that came up. Everyone, here he is, Skip Corris.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Skip, how are you?
Yeah, and I really want to thank you because I haven't gained a pound since I've been here in the green room, and you really know how to throw a party.
You know, we try to cater to our guests, their specific needs, and we got your card beforehand and said nothing, so
Nothing.
We gave you nothing.
Yeah.
So how have you been enjoying this fine time of secluding yourself?
Actually, I've been loving it, and I've been pretty busy. We've been doing a production of King Lear by online, which was pretty a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And here in Sun City, where I retired to with my wife Roseanne, and her mom is here with us, and so we had a very active theater group, which of course has not been active. So I put together a readers theater group, and we're doing different online and Zoom workshops, and that's a lot of fun. I got out my Walt Whitman and put that up for them last week. So we've been busy.
Yeah.
And then have some friends up in from college, and we also did. That's where we all cut our teeth on Readers Theater with a beloved professor who retired from New Jersey, where we were in college, to Ohio. And Peggy gets online and she directs everybody in these Readers Theater that one of our Kane University graduates, a few years younger than we are, has written several plays. So yeah, we're busy, haven't traveled, and we have been out to dinner once. And that was right here in the Sun City property.
I see. So they have a restaurant there that you can go to?
Actually 2 and another one coming with full dinners, soup to nuts. And we
kind of like what I didn't have on your charcuterie board tonight.
Exactly. But sense memory comes really handy to an actor. So I was just envisioning the shrimp and steak that I had at the Jameson's here, and it was delicious.
Oh, good. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Sense memory. It's good stuff. It's we've all been living on sense memory for about 6 months now.
Tell me about it.
So you mentioned the Shakespearean online production. And
Yes.
I happened to find something about that, so this premieres on September 2nd. Is that correct?
Well, it was supposed to. It has had something of a circuitous route. It we had it all filmed. All the raw footage was sent up to Ohio, and just this past week, while the director was editing it, he was diagnosed with the virus.
Oh no!
And so that's up in the air at the moment. So I don't know what status it is, but that's in limbo for a little while.
Oh gosh! Well,
yeah.
I hope he gets better.
I hope so too, because he's not a kid. He's not as old as I am, but then neither is anybody. But yeah, it was a joy to do. Several people from Northeast Ohio, where I moved from, and people from Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, Houston, and a lady from Wales. So we had a great company and a great meet.
Well, I have put a link to their YouTube channel, Smash Up Entertainment.
Yes, Smash Up Entertainment.
Yes. And so there is the announcement there, and the cast announcement, and as well as behind the green screen, which looks interesting. So
yes,
let's check that out and maybe water their appetite until the director gets better.
Yes, and let's hope it's soon. Yeah, you'll see one interview or video of our Reagan, and she was broadcasting from a little town up in Wales, and where she teaches and does theater. And that was lots of fun. Lots of some people I had known before, some people I had worked with before. And it was a lot of fun. The first time I have ever done Shakespeare without pants, and I like it that way because we were only filmed from here on up. Right. So here I was in my ratty old blind costume, subjected to the elements, and in bare feet and shorts underneath.
So now you played Gloucester? Is that correct?
I played Gloucester. Yeah, I went into the production saying Gloucester. So and my hand was quickly slapped. Yeah. But I had seen an excellent production in Savannah last year. I think Dennis Elkins played Lear.
Okay.
And my friend Les Taylor played Gloucester, and a number of people who I've gotten to know in the almost 2 years I've been here were in it. So I enjoyed it at my favorite space, Savannah Reps space.
Oh, they did that at Savannah Reps. So that was with Savannah Shakes.
Yeah, that was Savannah Shakes. Yes. Carla couldn't. No, I will not pronounce her name right.
You said her name right. You were going the right way.
Okay, Knudsen.
Yes.
Yeah, she directed it. Dennis was in it, and again, my friend Les. I have been a friend, Facebook friend, or online friend, way before the days of Shakespeare, of Facebook, with Les Taylor for has to be 20 years.
Wow.
When we were both on an online listserv called yes, it had something to do with singing. Now, okay. I'm not much of a singer, but Les, of course, is. So Les used to dispense his wisdom, and that's how I got to know him. Met him when he was doing Sweeney Todd 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that with Laura Dutton?
That I don't know. We happened to have a family reunion. Our people are all from New Jersey. We were living in Ohio. We had people from Chicago, and we all met on Tybee because one of our family had moved to Statesboro, and so we had reunions in various parts of the country. And he happened to be in rehearsal. I got to see him, meet him, and
my My assistant is here. Let me see
Ah.
what my assistant needs. What's going on, assistant?
I took the chicken out, but I'm not sure if it's done because I never made chicken.
Okay. Put it in for 5 more minutes. Okay. This is my dear daughter, Molly, who is attempting to finish the chicken for tacos tonight. So
hello, Molly. Save some for me.
I'll let her know. She's back in the kitchen now. So it is Taco Tuesday, as we often do on Tuesdays. So, Skip, how long have you been doing theater in Savannah?
In Savannah, I came down just before Lombardi.
Okay.
So we moved just before the first of the year. We went into rehearsal. What's it, about a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
It was in February and March of 2019.
So that was the first show here in Savannah.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I auditioned for it, knowing I was moving down here. In fact, we had bought the house, but we hadn't moved in. We didn't move in until the fall, winter before.
I see.
Yeah.
And so you look totally different for that role.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I do. I take a lot of pleasure in looking different. I've done a lot of different historical characters, including Mr. Lombardi and Walt Whitman. I played who was the third? There was somebody. Oh, Thomas Edison. Sigmund Freud. And I tell people, if you've ever gone up the New Jersey Turnpike, you'll find Vince Lombardi Plaza, Thomas Edison Plaza, and Walt Whitman Plaza. So I'm working my way up and down the characters in the New Jersey Turnpike. So pretty soon somebody's going to cast me as Molly Pitcher or whoever else is up there.
I'm trying to find the picture of it. I'm having some trouble here, but I'm sure I will. This one's too small. I want to pull it up, but this one may be too small for us to see what you look like in that.
Yeah.
But I remember I came and interviewed you guys right before Lombardi went on with the.
I remember.
Skip Corris.
Yes.
Is an amazing actress.
Yes, indeed.
Honestly, when I saw you later, I didn't know it was you at all.
Right. Yeah. I had something of a cottage industry playing Thomas Edison for several years. I did. There's a marvelous play called Camping with Henry and Tom, and I did several productions and directed several productions of that play. And to do research, I gave tours at the Thomas Edison birthplace in Milan, Ohio, which was about 25 miles from where I lived in Elyria. So got to know the man pretty well.
So did you do your tours in character?
I had to portray him at certain times, but generally not. I did dress, and people called me Mr. Edison, but I didn't put on the character of Edison except for special occasions.
Much like when you go to the Disney parks, I guess you could say you were a friend of Edison.
Yes. I was a friend of Mr. Edison. Yeah.
So what has been your all-time favorite role to play?
Oh, yeah. Probably Cervantes. In this coming year, it'll be 50 years since I played Cervantes Quixote in college, and broke my heart because they were in rehearsal for it here in Sun City, but because of my union membership, I can't act here. And then Travis Spangenberg was directing a production, and I couldn't audition for that either. But it is. I enjoyed it. I'm still friends. I just on Zoom 2 nights ago saw the fellow who had played my Sancho, and some of the other people who were in the cast, and we're still friends after all these years.
No, you say you're not a singer, but that role has a lot of music in it.
It does, and I can carry a tune. And I have done. I've done a lot of musicals, but my kids are real singers. My daughter Nicole has a voice for days. She does legit. She does jazz. She and her husband do the Great American Songbook, but they also do jazz. And her first gig out of college, out of conservatory, was an opera. So she I consider a singer. And then my son David does a lot of musical theater. He's also quite a well-respected puppeteer, and he was on the Disney Wonder doing their shows when the virus hit.
Yeah.
And
So, okay, that's interesting. So I know that a lot of people in that industry, the cruise industry, have been waiting
yes,
to go back to work. And of course, I understand that their hesitancy as an industry as well as in
oh yes, yes, yeah,
was
yeah.
he on the ship when all this occurred?
He was, and they had gone into New Orleans, and someone a week or two after New Orleans, they had gotten off the ship and was diagnosed, and the news came back.
Mhm.
So it did hit none of the cast members, to my knowledge, but it did hit a couple of the passengers,
Mhm.
and they were in San Diego for 2 weeks after they had stopped the cruise until they let them home, and then he had to. He has an apartment in Dallas, so he had to again self-isolate when he got to Dallas. So yeah, that not fun, and he did work at Disney World, so he has a lot of friends there who pretty well don't know what their status is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're I know they're open again, but I hear that it's probably like 20% capacity right now.
Yes, and the folks in the shows are not performing to my knowledge, and the character people can't go up and kibitz with the kids. They have to be far away and wave. So it's I hope it gets back. Now, fortunately, my daughter was working on a television show when she got off the ship, and her show is just going back into production in New York this week, and she's happy for that. So, but her husband is a musician, and he and his band were supposed to be on board ship all year this year, and they're just sitting home.
Mm.
Yeah.
Tough times for all of us, I think.
Yeah.
But we'll make it through.
Yes, yeah, and so many creative things have been done, and I'm sure you've not only presented, but I'm sure you've seen so many incarnations of very creative use of the internet. Yeah.
Every technology is at our disposal right
yes.
now. We just can't
yeah.
see each other.
And my wife and I take walks generally every night after supper. We take individual walks during the day, but after supper, we can leave her mom and take walks. And our friend Mandy Madsen, had a nice little Friday night gig where she would sing, and her boyfriend up in Tennessee, is it?
Yes.
I believe it's Tennessee. Has a show, and it used to be delightful because they used to accompany us on our walks. We used to listen to them. Yeah. So it's great creative use. I really adore performers and creative people. So we find ways of doing things.
That's true. That's very true. Well, I have to say that my second guest showed up very early, which I so appreciate. And she has been enjoying a fine assortment of charcuterie minus the board. I forgot to send her the board, so it's just loose.
Oh, Well, save some for me. I'll tell you what, I'll give you the board. You give me some food. Okay, Emily?
Okay. Well, I'm going to bring her on now so you can meet her because you've done some studying up on her, so you might as well meet her, right?
Great. Yes.
Emily Iocovozzi.
Hello,
Hi.
Emily. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah,
Now,
I know, I'm usually never early to anything, but I was like prepped and ready and came in here and was listening. I've really enjoyed this.
Awesome.
And you're up in New York now?
I literally 2 days ago came back down to Savannah. So
Oh, you're in Savannah.
finally, I feel like I finally like touched base again. I've been kind of everywhere actually. I've been started this whole madness in March in New York City where I was living for the time being, and in an off-Broadway show closed due to everything going on. And then I went to Maine, Islesboro, Maine for about 2 months during like the heart of it in the city. So I kind of flew out and then was there until mid-May and came back to the city and kind of packed everything up. And I came to Savannah in June for about 2 weeks, touched base, left everything, and then actually went back up to Sag Harbor in the Hamptons for about a little under 2 months to stay with family friends. And then I also worked for a family up there as a nanny just for some summer money and then, you know, another form of income. And it was amazing because, I mean, it's the Hamptons. I mean, it was really nice.
And the Hamptons, yeah. That's not shabby.
No. I mean, I am such a little beach girl coming from Savannah. So, I mean, I loved being able to go to the beach every day. And the boys who I watch play tennis, we play tennis, or we would, you know, walk with the dog on the dog beach. So, I mean, it was really nice. And I feel like a breath of fresh air and kind of a weight off my shoulders now that I'm back home in Savannah. Finally, I'm not leaving, I think, for the next few months. So,
yes. Yeah. You know, I haven't even been across the state line. We've just stayed pretty much on our in our development.
there you go.
You know, we go out, you know, every 10 days or so for groceries. And as I was explaining to Chris, we have 2 restaurants here, so we've only eaten out once, and I've picked up a pizza once.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I should be taking notes from you. I mean, I didn't plan to be moving as much, but I think whenever I would get to a certain location, I would stay for about, you know, at least a month and a half. But now that I'm back home, I think it's going to be kind of tightening up the bootstraps again and try not to go out as much. And
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. It feels weird to kind of start restarting it again, but I mean, it's necessary. So.
Oh, it is. My daughter, who lives up in Weehawken, right across the river from New York, just moved out. My son's girlfriend, who has been down in Dallas with him, because when New York was doing so badly, she wanted to get out of New York, so she went down to Dallas. Now, Texas is not doing well.
Yep.
But they're holed up in their apartment, and they're doing puppetry and art, and they do keep themselves busy. But I do have to say, it's so much easier for somebody my age because we are retired.
Yeah.
And I don't envy you guys.
No, I mean, I've said this before, and I'm trying to find a correct way to phrase it. In a way, during all of this kind of hecticness and chaos, I kind of also have like a sense of calm that I'm not the only one, you know, especially in the theater industry and performing arts. It's not just affecting me, and that there are other people who had the same, you know, thing happen to them, and they also lost their jobs on stage, and they also can't go and perform in front of a live audience. My sister, for example, is at Brevard College in North Carolina, and she, in April, was supposed to go on as Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors. Oh. And it was a huge deal. She's a freshman, and she got the job. She got the role, and we were all so proud of her. And like, of course, you know, 3 weeks before they open, schools get shut down. So she, you know, was really good about handling it. And then they were supposed to this fall start rehearsals again, and then it keeps getting canceled. It keeps getting pushed back. So I mean, she keeps having to, because she is back at school, but I mean. And of course, there's like, it's kind of looming over their head, like, okay, well, maybe we'll do a drive-in performance, or maybe we'll do, you know, virtual performance. And I mean, I really think she's taking it like a champ. And I know so many people are also in that position, just trying to make it work.
Right.
Whereas I think I would just go a little a little crazy. But I mean, she is just, I mean, I'm just so excited for her to have that opportunity. But I mean, it breaks my heart that it's not in like the truest form. You know, she doesn't get to have that full audience in front of her, and you know, everybody yell.
The grease paint and the smell of the crowd.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I know. And even thinking about what it's going to be like in the future is a little daunting. Thinking about, you know, performing to a half audience or performing to, you know, I know a few theaters are doing drive-through or like not drive-through, drive-in, where they have kind of little sectioned off spaces.
Drive-by theater.
Yeah, and it's a totally different experience. And I mean, I've been to a drive-in movie, which was really exciting, and because that's kind of the alternative.
Wait, where did you go to a drive-in movie?
In Sag Harbor, they had it.
Oh, wow.
The movie theaters up there, of course, weren't showing to audiences in theaters themselves. So they had 3 public beaches closed off where you can drive up. It was really cool. They had it so you could go and watch a movie on the beach, you know, like a big screen. And that was really fun. And I had only gone to a drive-in theater or drive-in movie once. And that was in South Carolina, like years and years ago. So it was really fun. I hope that stays. I do think that was really exciting. But I do feel bad for everybody in our positions having to kind of work around this insane.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, Skip, I have some more people in my waiting room. I don't know where they came from. Very odd. I don't know what this is about. But Skip, you are now a member, an unofficial member of the Mamma Mia reunion.
Stop!
So, yeah, this is Bill and Rosie actually. Matt,
Bill, Rosie, what are y'all doing?
We're trying to fix up, you know, we're on the coast of Greece.
They're close. I think they said they were close to Greece. I can't
You're
really
on the
hear you
coast
very
of
well.
Greece.
The coast of Greece.
Oh. How dare you?
You look so
Oh, that's
pretty.
so funny.
Y'all look beautiful too. Oh, I miss
We
y'all.
miss you.
Oh, I miss you.
Are
Great
you?
to meet you. My wife's name is Roseanne, so we call her Rosie. Yes. Good name.
Skip, that's
name.
not their real name, you know. That's they put that in as their name because that was the name in Mamma Mia.
They played Bill and Rosie. I was going to introduce them. This is Matt Meese and Michelle Meese, the most amazing, fabulous people in the world.
Wait, Michelle Meese, I just saw you the other day, did I not? Yes. Okay.
Where are you?
I remember the name. Yes.
Great, Ivy, thinking of you.
Oh, I want to come. I want to be on the beach.
We are ready to be able to do shows so you can come back and do something with us. We're missing it.
That's the hope. I went by the theater today and I was like, I'm coming for you, man.
Yeah.
Soon.
We need you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can get back to her. We just wanted to say hi.
Oh, well, yeah, I love you guys. Thanks for coming by.
You guys enjoy the
again.
meeting, and next time we talk, get better mics, please.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
The audacity. Okay. Although good service if you're on the beach. That's
Yeah,
nice.
I know, right? That's Verizon for you. Are those kids back behind you there? Do we know those kids?
Those are, yeah.
Aw.
They belong to you?
That's the beauty of homeschooling right now, I guess, is we get to the beach.
Rude.
Homeschooling at the beach. Oh, wow.
Hey, I'll play substitute teacher. You can call me Miss Iocovozzi.
That would be awesome.
There you go. All right. Well, I'm going to let you guys hang out at the beach. You can come back later if you want, but get wet or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
We love you.
Love you.
Hi, great to see you. Enjoy.
If you had no idea.
That was awesome.
Yeah. It's funny to watch. Okay, they're gone now. I was watching the camera flip around and do all kinds of crazy things. Okay, Skip, I'm going to spend a little time with Emily here, but thank you so much for joining us tonight.
And thanks for having me.
It was so nice meeting you.
And good to meet you, Emily. And best of luck. Enjoy your stay in Savannah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. Bye, Skip. Okay, so, wow.
Hey, zoomed in. Hello.
Back and forth up the coast,
Yeah.
and now you're here.
I'm here. I'm kind of actually setting down some my stuff. I'm applying to SCAD for.
Really?
for 2 years to transfer in as a junior and finish my BFA as a film acting major, performance arts. So,
wow.
So fingers crossed, I get my hopefully get my admittance letter within the next few weeks. So.
Okay, I don't know how they could not admit you.
I hope. I mean, everything's looking good so far. So now it's a process of me, submitting some videos for scholarship, hopefully scholarship money. And then what's crazy is, though, I'm excited, but it's already announced that it's going to be virtual, of course, for the next few months. But luckily for me, I kind of have to knock out my core classes, math, beginning history, all that. So I can do all that virtually. I don't mind.
So they haven't started classes yet?
No, it starts September 14th.
Okay.
So I have a little bit of time. I'm antsy though. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get back into school. That was what I was going to bring up earlier, is that I'm kind of channeling this time where I can't be on stage, and I was like, what else can I do? And what do I really want to work on? And that was definitely film and being comfortable in front of a camera. And I think learning the logistics compared to, stage acting to film is so different, and learning my mark and learning how to walk up to a table and pick up a glass of water and cut an apple and talk to someone and have a serious conversation, but act like it's normal, without being okay.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
what I'm excited for.
It's very different.
It is. Walking to a certain mark and, having your body going this way, but you're looooking this way,
Right.
So I'm excited about it.
There's no more of cheating out.
No, no cheating out, and no talking upstage. So I mean, it's a challenge. I'm looking forward to it. My friend Nina Miller is getting her master's in camera operations, so it'll be really fun to have a friend who is kind of on the other side of the camera as well. Okay,
so camera not at SCAD then?
Yeah, it's SCAD.
Oh, really?
She just graduated from Georgia. I'm calling her out, but she just graduated from Georgia, and then she's going. Her father is a sound engineer professor there, so she is going as a camera operations directing major, and so she'll be the person behind the camera, learning the logistics of that. So I just find the whole world really interesting. So I'm excited to kind of take that on.
Yeah. Have you taken any film acting classes before this?
I have, but never for anything longer than a few weeks. I studied at the New York Conservatory for Dramatic Arts for about 5 weeks, my summer going into my senior year of Spin Arts. So that was kind of my only real chance at it. And that's where I first started learning. And I have notes, but it's been 5 years. So, that's me going back and trying to remember, but it's a whole other world. So I was I really want to take this time and really put myself into it as much as I can. And I feel that's hopefully, not hopefully, but that's going to be a little easier to open back up than theater. So I was I might as well, have my grounding in both, my feet in both fields. So. Yeah.
So, but you start classes online virtually. But the plan is that you would be here to take classes on ground when they open back up. That's good. That's nice. Yeah.
I'm excited to be back in Savannah. I haven't lived in Savannah for longer than 2 weeks since I graduated high school in 2015. So it's been a little bit of time. I'm excited to be a tourist here again.
Yeah.
As safely as I can. I'm not going anywhere crazy, but.
Right. Have you been down to the new development down there yet?
Fancy place with the dinosaur. I have not. It looks fabulous in the slide. Everyone's posting pictures and videos. My mom and sisters went there a few weeks ago, and it looked amazing. So safely, I'll go.
Yes.
I'm a little bit worried, so I'm trying to stay as safe as possible. But coming from New York and from Sag Harbor was really strict about masks and about gloves and about 6-foot distances, and to the point that if you weren't, you were going to be called out by traffic police, but also the woman on the street. So it's a little different coming back to Savannah, where it's all a little more nonchalant. But I am still very much I almost came on the camera with my little mask on. But it was mask, so I should have done it to shout him out. I love his Everybody go buy a Troy Allen face mask. He's also a fellow Mamma Mia.
Really? And Troy Allen's selling face masks?
They're beautiful, of course. They're
I gotta get one.
They're, sequins. They're gorgeous.
I'd look good in a sequin mask. I think.
Would. You absolutely would. I have
Can you make a pink one for me?
He does. You bet he does. He has a pink one, and he has like these cute little sequins that he's, individually sewn. So, I mean, I was like, heck yeah, sign me up.
I've had my way around from some pink sequins. I can tell you that.
Oh, yes, you have. Yes, you have. I have a question for you. What have you been up to? How have you been keeping yourself busy? I mean, this is also. I mean, I have one of my favorite things is coming and watching.
Oh, that's so sweet. So of course, I have a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
5 days a week. And I've been doing that this whole time, virtually at a distance. Our office, there's a few people in our office right now, but I'll go in like maybe once every 2 weeks to take care of whatever I need to take care of.
Oh, nice.
And now, of course, Molly's back in school. So she's taking classes at Savannah Arts. They have A/B days like they did before, but now
really?
A and B days are an hour. Each class is an hour each, and they meet online, and then they have 15 minutes in between. And she's done at like 1:30.
Oh wow!
And that's changing. It's morphing. It's worked for this time, but I think it'll change more.
How is that working? Is she? I mean, she's a theater major, right? So how?
No, she's actually a chorus major.
What? She could have. She's like me. She could have. I'm like, people are always like, "Are you theater major?" And I was like, "I was voice," but
yeah,
vocal major, of course. So I mean, how is that working? I mean, how do you do a vocal online class? I'll have to ask her because I mean that's really fascinating.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get her to come in here because I don't know. I don't know how it's going. She's told me some things, and I've heard her in her room, but other than that, it's like, Dad, can you help me post this thing? And then we go into this whole cycle of we're the same person, so it's very hard for us to work together. I don't know if you know anyone like that.
I do.
Let's see. Molly, get in here. Okay, there. The call has gone out. She may be eating tacos right now because they may be done.
Yeah, we're having blackened salmon. So after this, I'm gonna go make my little salad.
Who made the blackened salmon?
My mama.
Oh,
good.
I bet she's a good fish cook, isn't she?
She is. She's Swedish. It's a lot
of fish,
a lot of potatoes. A lot of greens.
Swedish know their fish.
They do.
Yeah.
It's really good. I learned from her. I mean, the pastas and the big Italian dishes I learned from my dad. He's full on Italian. My mom is all Swedish. So I learned all my baked goods and all of my fish and my really, really good like roasted chicken dishes from her. So I still like to cook. I've been doing that a lot during this quarantine.
Yeah. Pandemic. Yeah, that's good. Good. Honing up on your cooking skills at this time I've made a lot of breads. I haven't made breads in a while.
I went through a bread phase. I was in a really big bread phase in April. When I was in Maine, there was a huge kitchen. So I was like, and I was on an island where we weren't doing much. We couldn't really go outside at all. So I was like, I am going to learn how to bake almost every bread possible. And I'm going to try to perfect it. And I only perfected like cinnamon raisin and the gold French loaf.
Oh, there she is.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I was just asking your dad, what is it like taking a vocal class virtually at Savannah Arts? Because I can't imagine being a vocal major myself there, how that would have gone down.
Well, right now we're kind of just studying the sheet music that we have and so like practicing on our own.
He's really counting on you guys to do a lot of sight reading, right? And I guess kind of teaching yourself.
Yeah, but it's just like, right now, it's like if we go back to school, learn this, if we get to sing together in a chorus,
I mean, that's so crazy. Because also, I mean, didn't I hear that that singing isn't as bad as what everybody thought as the spreader? Like, I feel like
I don't know. I think that's true. I think that's true.
They're like, that's why, if you sing, that it's just projecting and it's going to be even more of an effect. But now someone, I don't know who posted it, but somewhere that it's not, it's almost the exact same as talking.
I
But
think there's a lot, and you know, this is just an opinion, and everybody's got one. I think there's a lot of news out there,
oh yeah,
and probably about 10% of it is actual, real.
a lot of articles. There's a lot of people who want you to read their articles.
Right.
We have
Yeah.
a lot of time, so everybody's reading a lot. So it's hard to really.
I read zero. Zero.
I
So-
can't help it.
Yeah, I know. It's there.
I can't say that I read all of them, but I do read like titles.
Oh, you want to eat dinner? Okay, sorry, Molly. Go eat dinner.
Enjoy your dinner. Bye.
But yeah, it's been interesting being home with her, and then my son started
Off at college, right?
Yeah, he's at Kennesaw now, and he's been there for about a week and 3 days,
Wow.
and they haven't sent them home yet. So we'll see.
No, Nellie's at Georgia Southern, and Sarah's at Brevard. And Brevard, being a smaller college, is definitely a little more aware. And there was like one kid who they thought might have it, so of course they were going a little more like protective and saying we might do a week, everybody stay in their dorms or whatever. But they're kind of taking it day by day. And I feel like I haven't heard much about Georgia Southern. Nellie's kind of
Yeah,
but I mean, of course, it's all mask mandatory. You have to, wear it wherever you're going or to class. But I'm interested to see, how these bigger colleges handle it, because I know some have already kind of started closing their doors again, that's really tough. I can't imagine being in a quarantine for all these months and then being told that you can't go to school, and they're like, yes, do come back. And then you get there, you unpack, you meet your friends, you're in your dorm for a week, and then they go, actually, no, like it's spreading again. You all need to leave. It's a tough time for everybody. It's hard to say, one age group is really hit, because I'm seeing it from my sister's perspective, who are only 3 years younger than me, but I do feel like we're at a different place, because luckily I'm kind of in this limbo, and I get to be home with my parents, and I get to start school, but virtually, and in Savannah, so it's not as daunting to me. But I do feel like kids who have left their homes again to go, we're not only taking a risk leaving, but also it's kind of exciting to get out of the house only to be told that.
Yeah. And I sense it a little bit from my son, that he was excited to go, but at the same time right now he's kind of stressed about it. Just the fact that he doesn't know tomorrow if A, will he get sick? B, will he be sent home and just have to learn from home? And he's at that point in his life, and I know I was there, where I wanted to set my road ahead. I wanted to be out, and he felt that way too. So it's like it is limbo. It's limbo for all of us, and it's a hard thing.
It's really difficult, because I'm usually a person who almost over plans and has like, my schedule is set, weeks in advance. I know what's coming. I know what I'm doing, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, or if I'm in a show, I know what's running and I know what's going to be after that. But I feel like right now I can't even, set any plans for 2 weeks from now, because I don't know what's going to happen. And like, for instance, we were also excited. My brother is in Prague right now, and he graduates. He's done his master's, and we are also excited to go and visit him and go and see his graduation. And now we aren't allowed into Czech Republic, so it's kind of we're waiting. And my poor parents, that's a big deal, and we're also proud of him. And it's like we all want to be there, but we can't until we get our act together. So we are in this limbo again of like waiting to see when we can go and if we can go and how we're going to do that safely. And it's just, you could have said a year ago that this is going to be happening, and I really don't think I believe you.
No.
Now, it's just the way of life, which is just so crazy. Like my mom and I had to run downtown today to run an errand, and I was just we were talking about how almost used to we are about, getting out of the car, putting on our Germex, putting on the mask, and then, walking around. And she was like, it's almost like, we're in a movie where, everybody's just so used to it. I'm so not, fazed by seeing every other person in a room in a mask anymore. And, it's like we've really gotten used to it, which is crazy, and how the masks have become a whole other fashion statement, like to the point that like, we're accessorizing with our mask.
Right.
But again, like you could have told me that a year ago that I would, every time I got out of the car, be putting Germex on and putting a mask over my face. But it's also made me think in the long run, like every time I fly, I think I will be wearing a face mask. Or anytime I'm in a tight little subway cart, I will probably be wearing a face mask. Like now, just thinking about how germs are spread and like just contact. I'm like, it's made me more aware, spatially aware of people. So that's my little rant. You have to tell me to stop talking and like change the subject, and I talk forever.
No, I love it. I think that well, I mean, I don't love it. I don't love the situation.
No.
But I think to a certain extent that we're all going to be in this PTSD after this is all over with, as far as our awareness of everything around us.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to say fear, but it is. It
is. And I think an awareness, I think of like, I'll never not think about how many people are in a room now, or how many, when I go to I still feel guilt. I mean, I really try to choose where I go to eat if I do go out to eat, which isn't very often, to sit outside. And, and when I do order, even though you are technically allowed to have your mask off, I do feel for the waiters. So, I mean, I put my mask on when I'm ordering or whenever they come up. I mean, they're risking a lot and they need that money, but also like it shouldn't be such a fear for them. And I feel bad that like, we just take off our masks and act kind of like it's normal. They are very much covered. And so I try to keep that little respect, but I mean, I can't help but think that like in the future, I will always think about how many people are in a room, or like whenever I'm in a busy little like elevator cart, like I don't want to be too close to people because I don't know who might have the flu or who might, be a little sick. Like even if it's not COVID, like I just can't help but be like way more aware of who is around me, how many people are around me, which never used to be a problem, especially as like being in theater. I'm very much a people person. Like I do like my space, but I love being around people. I like singing in bars, and I like, being a little like, outgoing and like loud, but now it's like raising your voice. Before I read that article, is projecting. So I've been trying to like me not talk as much, and I don't know. It just made me more aware of things that I definitely was not thinking about.
Yeah.
Months ago.
Yeah. None of us were.
No.
And you can look at other cultures. You look at Eastern cultures where people would wear masks constantly.
Oh yeah.
Perhaps not for germ reasons, but just for air quality reasons. But now we're in that same point where we're just used to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or not, depending on who you are.
Yeah, depending on who you are. I mean, I still can't help but be that person. I would never say it out loud, but like, if I'm on a street, I'm in a grocery store, and coming from New York or wherever I was, like where you had to have a mask. If someone's in a grocery store and they don't have a mask on, I'm like, like throw your mask, like behind my little like protector, I'm like, Yeah. So I can't help it, but I'm also like, I want to do whatever we can do and whatever I can do to like, help this and not hinder it. So if there's something that's wear a mask, I'm gonna wear a mask. That's the one thing I can do. I can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I picked up running during pandemic, and in the Hamptons and in New York, I would run with a mask on, almost to just prove that like you can go into a grocery store, you can go into a Walgreens and, pick up whatever you need and you can breathe, and I can run 3 miles in a mask and be okay. Although Savannah, it's a little different. So, I mean, I still do it, but it's like, I really do think I will faint when I get home. It is so hot. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's anything that I could do to be my little sassy self and prove a point, but I tried to. I don't have gloves anymore. I mean,
I'm not as good as you. I have to admit that I don't run. So, but we do walk, and we don't wear a mask when we walk. But
yeah. Well, even downtown, because I mean, I feel like we were originally told only, if you were in the proximity of somebody else who was close enough, is when you need to have the mask.
Yeah.
But then
that's changed. Yeah, downtown has definitely changed.
Exactly. Because I mean, in Sag Harbor, for instance, if you were on any public sidewalk, if you were in any public area, even if there were people not around you, you had to have a mask on, or else you were fined. And you were very quickly told, you don't have a mask, get in your car and go home, or you'll be escorted home or given a mask. A lot of places up there do offer you masks, which was nice. But so yeah, anytime I'm down here now, like we were walking down the street, my mom and I, and she was like, I think, we might be able to take them off. And I was like, oh, keep it on, And I was like, I understand why the impulse if there's no one around you. But I mean, again, now it's kind of become a habit. But I've also, I mean, as a singer, we were told to drink water all the time. But also, as you can tell, I'm drinking water all the time, stay hydrated and stay as healthy as possible. So take your vitamins, your zinc, the B12, your fish oil. Is that what it is? Omega-3s. Yeah, a lot of stuff.
I just eat.
Yeah. That helps. I've heard that helps.
Good food. Eat good food. Yeah.
Have you been singing at home or like keeping up with that whole part of your life? Recording any monologues, any self-tapes?
No. I'm
Me
sad.
neither.
Sadly, I
I'm
don't.
thinking myself, but not for anyone or anything.
So, I mean, the thing that I've wanted to get into is voiceover, but it's just because of everything else that I do, it's hard to set that time aside to.
Yeah.
I mean, I've kind of already got part of the studio here, but getting up like the sound gear, like the baffling gear.
Oh yeah, that's a whole other world. I mean, I really would love. That's another thing I'm excited about SCAT is they have a whole voiceover animation track that you can take, and I'd love to at least take 1 or 2 classes through it. And so, so I was like, well, that's really exciting. So of course I wrote about that when I was applying, because I mean, as a musical theater actor, I wasn't really told much about how to even get into that world or how to get an agent for that whole industry.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating to hear how you would go about it. I was talking to my other Mamma Mia friend, Shannon Zoller, and she is in California right now. And she sent me a few recordings of her that she was going to be sending out, and they're awesome. So she was inspiring me to kind of go and record my own. Is she in the lobby? Are you about to surprise?
No. Where are you?
Missed opportunity.
She is quite busy.
Yeah, she knows.
She's educating 4 children right now.
She's a saint. I don't know how she does it. I don't know how. I mean, this goes out to all the mamas and papas out there, everybody out there who has kids right now. Y'all are all troopers, and I don't know how you are doing it, but I applaud you and I support you 100%.
Yeah.
And that is incredible. So I was talking about that today with my mom. I mean, that is a lot that you are being asked to do, and so
I'm glad. I'm blessed that we're at this point in our lives where we don't have to do as much as that. But I greatly appreciate everyone. Gretchen, my hat's off to you.
Yeah, hats off to all of
Shannon, my hat's off to you. Michelle.
Also,
Bill, Mike, those guys too.
Oh yeah. I just can't imagine. So, but yeah, I mean, so have you like created any yet? Any recorded any? Do you know like?
Oh well, I mean, I did a little something, and I'm trying to continue doing it. It's this silly thing, and I don't know if you've seen it or not. It's a therapy session for super people with abilities.
That's cool.
There's only one out there yet, but we're doing another one soon. I have to have that out soon. It's called Super Ego. So I'll
send me the link. I want to watch
the link. Yeah.
Like
you can watch the weirdness occur.
Sign me up. I'm all about it. No, I just think that I've always wanted to like voice a character in a Disney movie Disney or Pixar, something like that. Anything would be really cool. I mean, it would be such a crazy opportunity. And I feel like a lot of Broadway actors or just actors in general, musical theater, are getting hired for like these Disney shows, these kids shows where they sing and have songs. And I just think it's such a beautiful like merge of our worlds. So I would love to be a part of that and to learn about that. So.
Oh, everybody wants to be a princess.
Well, yeah, everybody wants.
Even me.
Yeah, heck yeah. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, so I'll send you a link to the weirdness, but I'm also probably going to send you an invite to actually have therapy.
Yeah.
I think you could do well. We could discover what your ability is.
Yeah, I'm in. Sign me up. I'm all for it. All for it. Man, I can't help thinking about you having tacos. That sounds so good.
Well, you're having. I mean that.
Tacos sounds really good. That's like my favorite meal of all time. So.
You know what? Blackened fish tacos would be really good.
Maybe we have some tortillas. You're in. Light bulbs are going off. So.
A little salsa, maybe some avocado.
We do have avocado. I just started liking avocado.
Really?
Yeah, I I didn't like the texture for the
I
longest
get that.
time, you know. But then over literally this summer, probably the last month, my friend was staying up, working for another family in the Hamptons, and she would have avocado toast like every other morning. And finally, I was like, I'm just gonna try it, and I'm gonna like it, you know. And so then I finally liked it. I mean, I took a bite and I was like, all right, I'm on the train. I like it.
That's good.
But gradually started adding it into my routine.
So here's what we do. We make BLTs.
Ooh,
You like BLTs?
I do.
But instead of mayonnaise, you smear some avocado on there.
That's smart.
Yeah.
I helped run like a little camp for like 6 kids that were all within the same 2 families while I was up in SAG. And they would have on sandwich days, they would make bat sandwiches, which was bacon, avocado, and tomato. So we would call them bat sandwiches, because it was BLTs. So like that's what they would all ask for. That reminds me of that. They're really yummy.
Bacon, avocado, and tomato. Mm-hmm. No lettuce?
No, it's for the kids. They wouldn't mind. I'd add lettuce.
Yeah.
Some other green, like arugula or something, would be really good. I'm just making myself hungry talking. You can't.
I'm sure that fish isn't the fish ready already.
I can smell it. I think that's also what's making me hungry. I'm like also planning about what I'm going to do for my little salad.
Yeah. Well, I was hopeful that we would have at least Matt and Michelle back. They did not come back.
We still have a reunion video where it's them 2, Shannon and it's many of everybody as we can get.
Anybody out there?
Recruit Troy. Troy will do it. That'd be a hoot and a half. So
I know Troy would do it. And Troy could send all of us like some masks.
Masks.
We'd all wear them.
Your business.
Promote his business.
I'll
Exactly.
tell about that. Troy Dylan Allen, everybody. Great.
Go get a mask from him. All right, I'm gonna let you go get your fish.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go get my taco on.
Yes, this was so much fun. I mean, I love doing this. I was so excited that you asked me to do it again. I was like, yeah, heck yeah.
Of course.
It's awesome.
This guy's been on there like 20 times already.
I love Ryan. I still haven't. I ran into funny story. He's not on right now, but if you're watching this, Ryan, I don't know if you remember this, that I ran into him totally randomly at Cap 21, which is where I went to school. He was teaching a guitar lesson or something. And I was like, I know you. You're Ryan McCurdy. And he like sort of knew who I was, but he was like, yeah, you look familiar. And I was like, yeah, I think I know him better than he knew me. I just knew him from Savannah Theater. I think not recently, but he had done Spelling Bee and I had seen it. And I remember being like, oh, that's you. But so now our circles are kind of starting to like overlap. So hopefully I'll be able to talk to him and get to know him better. But
hopefully you'll be able to talk to him one day.
In the same theater circle of Savannah, I hope so.
Yeah. We're all kind of we
work together with us all.
Although he's still in New York.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He will come back on occasion, and he is the artistic director at Savannah Repertory Theater now.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So he's quite busy.
Oh my gosh.
With everything he does, he's just crazy. He's a crazy guy. No. Okay.
All right.
I sent him an invite. He didn't show up though. He did not show up.
Oh.
Just literally sent him an invite. But that's okay, Ryan. Next time.
I would love to do that though. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I'm gonna let you get your fish. I'm gonna get my tacos. Everybody,
All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you for having me, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love to your family. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Emily Iocovozzi, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for stopping by this evening to our little hole in the wall. Or is there a hole back there? No, there's not. Perhaps I should put one, and then I could reach through and grab things and make magic happen. I don't know what I'm talking about. Enjoy your evening. See you next time. Wait a minute. Can you do this? You know how to do this?
What?
If I do the sitcom freeze, can you do the sitcom freeze?
What is that? Is it like when it freezes on you?
Yeah.
How do you do it? I was like on my phone.
All right, here we go. Sitcom freeze. I'm going to hit end, and then you freeze. All right.
Okay.